Let's go. Let's do catatonic closet. Catatonic. We're catatonic.
Oh, I can see the light. It's hitting my head. The light from behind the computer. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Pop out this chat here.
We here.
Pop out the chat.
Yeah. Otherwise, I can't see.
Shiny head.
I can't see.
So Pam turned a light on behind the computer
because I don't like that.
So it's coming over the top of the computer and it's hitting me right in the head.
So what? It's fine. Do you need my menopause fan?
That's awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Sorry. Is Don? Where are you, Don? He's from Canada.
So
hey,
Brian's
there's 3
here,
people and
I
only
think.
2 likes.
I don't know what time.
Who didn't like it?
Who didn't like?
It's Brian Stern. Brian Stern, hi.
Brian Stern's there, maybe. I can't see what time these were written.
Oh,
Desert Living Homestead was really early.
I will be here, not leaving. I just want not move.
Oh boy, the wind's blowing.
Shiny head. I'm not drinking anything. I have not had anything except water. I would like a drink, but I don't know. I just don't get as much joy from it as I used to. I didn't
the
like
light
it.
Hitting me.
I didn't like
Oh,
it.
there's Sherry.
What's she talking about? I don't remember. Did we?
I didn't like it.
Oh, it
What
was
didn't you
Sherry
like?
that did. She didn't like.
Oh.
Look how big my finger looks.
So if there's Sherry and Scott, so who's left? Either Brian or Desert Living Homestead. One of them's missing.
Somebody forgot.
Oh wait, now we have more people now.
It's a mystery, I guess.
So Brian saw the.
I wish I had a beer.
The thumbnail, obviously.
I don't have any beer. I wish I had a beer and Mater juice.
Mater.
I like beer and Mater juice.
Wow.
Why do I feel like
Hi guys.
I already
hi,
I
Scott.
say hi?
I said hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott and Sherry. Hi, Scott, Sherry. Are you drinking? Oh, this lighting is much better. I don't like that interrogation light.
Yeah, whatever. Stop saying hi. Oh, people have left. We were at 5. We're down to 3.
They're like, I'm getting out of here.
Scott ran
I don't
off.
want anything to do with this. Scott ran him off.
We're still a little early, right? Yeah, we're still
Where
early.
is Warren?
Warren should be
Warren
home. He
said,
should be home now.
Warren said he wasn't feeling well or something, didn't he?
No.
Why did I dream that?
My mom said she's.
Oh, it was your mom.
Yeah.
Yo, mama.
Mom said she won't be
Yo,
here
mama
tonight.
not gonna be here tonight. Are we? Is it 5? I mean,
Not quite.
6.
5:58.
Man, I wish. Waiter, could I get a beer? Mater juice and lime with a lime. Man, that would be good.
No concrete.
But then I'd have to go to the bathroom. I stopped drinking water. I stopped drinking anything at like 5:30.
Scott's not serious, right?
Break out the bird.
You're joking, right,
video.
Scott? Scott asked if I'm going
Let's
to pour
talk about the
concrete. I think he's
next
joking.
step.
We are not pouring concrete. Bird
What's
video.
happening? Oh my gosh. I wish. I mean, if it was me, I would say go ahead and put it out there. Who cares?
It's not you.
So what? Who cares?
Yeah. I don't know what
It's called
is.
Little Giant Bird. Wow, there's a nice breeze blowing through that little window.
Getting down lower.
Desert Living Homestead.
Are they still there?
Are you still there? Because
From over an hour ago?
I follow like 10 people that have Desert and Homestead
There's so many
in their name.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
it's hard to
there's
keep
like
up.
20 channels that have that name. So it's very difficult for me to keep them all. I'm gonna start making a list.
The light of the blinds is making my hair look. My hair is actually not that choppy.
Stop worrying about your appearance.
Well, I'm just worried
so
that people
much.
are gonna think your haircut is all choppy, but it wasn't. It's the way the blinds are lighting.
What if we open this?
Oh no, you don't want to do that.
Oh no, we don't want
You don't
that.
want to do that.
We need to hang a
Yes, that's
Oh.
that's way better. It was a little open.
I would never give a bad haircut.
Well, see about that.
Should we go into our comedy routine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Killing
Knock knock.
I think we
You're
should
an
tell.
idiot.
I think we should tell the story about when we went to my parents' house and when we went to my parents' house and we were told we were not allowed to use toilet paper. Or no. No.
Well, close.
We weren't allowed to throw toilet paper into the toilet. Jerk. When we were, it was in Oklahoma a long time ago when my parents, this was when my mom was still alive.
Oh boy, the wind is whipping.
Tell it.
The wind's whipping. I will not tell it.
I want to do a
Look at that screen. Look
Reenact-
at that. Look at that chat screen. All Sherry and Scott.
I think we've lost.
Big mouths.
We've already lost the crowd.
We may have.
Yeah, we haven't even started.
We've lost them.
Anybody have any questions? I have a lot of questions.
Well, Scott asked about concrete. But I don't know if he was joking, but I'm not pouring any concrete.
When will you be finished with these tires? I mean, you said it. Well,
I finished the bottom row.
April's almost over.
Dominate.
Dominatrix?
No.
No.
Where's my Grogu?
It's on my list of things to do. Oh, I need to know what size do you want? I have some 8x10 canvases.
You're having trouble finding one. I thought you found one like first day or something.
Do you care what size canvas?
You shouldn't buy houses anyway. You should build them.
I'm going to do it tomorrow, Scott. I'll do it. But then I also have I have 2 more people that want Grogu's.
Sherry, you should have Scott build you a house in the garage and build it modular. And so you can just put it in a car and take it somewhere.
You know what I think? It's a sign that you shouldn't buy a new
You're
one.
not going to build.
You need to, wait, let me tell them what they need to do. Find a fixer-upper and fix it up like you want to fix it up.
Buy
like
something
a cheaper
used.
one so you don't spend $1 million zillion dollars.
I'm building the bed. He's building a bed?
Hey, Malin.
Hey, Malin and Dad.
Hi, Tom.
No. Sherry won't buy used.
I knew you'd say that. Why? Scott's already
not fixing up anything. Oh, you're going to be fixing up stuff because Scott's going to run into the new one as soon as you get there.
All right.
All right. Are you ready? What did we do? What have we done since the last time we talked?
Well, I have been painting. I painted some signs. I've been doing a lot of videos. I put a
Hey.
Don't do it,
Hey,
Scott.
now.
Don't do it. Think it through. We'll have to moderate him.
Moderate.
Turn off his mic.
I'm going to make
That's how you do it.
Sherry a moderator and she can cancel all his comments.
I have been making a lot of videos.
Pam's making a bunch of videos.
I had 2 videos that I was having trouble with, and I had to edit them because something went wrong, and I had to redo them, basically. So I did that.
So Pam put one out today that I actually we should have on Midlife Prices, the pizza oven, because it's an update kind of to we had the original pizza oven on the Midlife Prices channel. So I'll probably just modify that slightly with like our intro and stuff and put that out on Midlife Prices as an update. So
a mini pizza oven.
Well,
mini. It's very small. It's not that.
So she's had a fire in it, as was in the video, but she hasn't really cooked anything in it.
So the idea
she says it's too hot outside or too
put
windy or something. I don't know what
you have the fire inside, and then once those bricks get really hot, and they burn down, then you move the bricks to the back. You shove them in the back.
You move the bricks?
I mean, you move the wood, the burnt stuff into the back, and that leaves the hot bricks, and you cook on that. Somebody was asking me, or they said they didn't.
Yeah,
Rusty.
like how it works.
Rusty! Hey, Rusty! Rusty, get it?
It's kind of like, you know, the fact that you don't really cook on the fire of the charcoal, right? You let the charcoal burn and then you capture the heat. You know, it's kind of the same idea. You're not actually cooking on or in a fire. You're using the fire to warm the whole structure, and then you try and capture the warmth for as long as you can. So that's really what the pizza oven's about, or the earthen oven.
Yeah.
So I filled a bunch of tires and moved a bunch of dirt. So if everybody saw the thumbnail, which Brian called our lightning rods, there are now a bunch of tires that are now underground. So we had CJ came over on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. And we had a friend here. We had Jared here, and Jared and Minerva. And so I didn't count how many buckets full. I didn't even think about that. But
you made
CJ went back and forth a bunch.
Trips
Unfortunately, we have to travel a little bit to get to a spot where it makes sense to get dirt without kind of messing up other things, right? So he had to travel a ton, not a ton, but I mean, it took him a minute or so to go back and forth each time. So he just dumped a bunch of dirt for us, and while he was dumping it, we were pushing it, shoveling it, raking it, tamping it,
filming it.
So that's what we did.
A little film. Oh, hey, Melissa.
Hey,
Taylor.
Melissa and Taylor. So I left him. I don't know if I put a picture of this out, maybe the last time we talked for the last live or not, but I had left kind of a space of maybe 5 or 6 tires or so as like an opening so that he could drive inside, because I had played around with where I was going to have him dump the dirt. And at one point I thought I might have him dump it outside and we were going to bring it inside, but then with all the rebar and everything, you wouldn't really be able to wheelbarrow it. It would have been really hard to transfer it. So we just had him drive inside the room and dump. And he
drove into the house.
He hit some from the outside, but yeah, then he drove into the house and dumped. And when he was done, again, we were kind of working it while he was doing it, and we got it up pretty full. And then he kind of just piled a bunch extra because I need extra. Well, for one thing, I had 5 or 6 more tires to fill where I'd let him drive through. I had to finish. So I hadn't finished that bottom layer that has the rebar sticking up out of it. And so I did that a couple days afterward, and been tamping it, wetting it down quite a bit to try and get it to compact a little bit, to keep the dust down. It's very dusty. And then let's see. So for the picture for today, you can see that I've got it really tamped and spread very well around, at least right around the tires. There's still a big pile in the middle, and that pile in the middle is for my next set of tires, which are going to go kind of over those pieces of rebar. So I've got to fill all those tires, stuff all those tires too. So probably in the neighborhood of 50 more tires to go. So I think I've done around 50 for the outer U kind of retaining wall, and then about 50 for the first set of, the perimeter, so the footer, and probably about 50 more on top of that footer. So they're slightly different size, which is why I say it might not be the exact same number, but hi, Desert Homestead. That's
Moses.
That's
and
Moses,
Polly.
right? Hey guys. So that's where we're at. We're done. So from the thumbnail, you can see that the footer is done. The tires are kind of gone, right? They're underground, but they make a nice stable base for that next set of tires that's going to go on top of them.
Yeah, and now where it was all downhill, it's all nice and level.
It's all flat. Again, there's a big pile in the middle, but that's to fill tires. So I'm going to start filling tires. I've got to work a little puzzle now because the tires are all different sizes. Even if you use the same, so that first number in a tire, that 225, 235, whatever it might be, is kind of it's width of a tire really. But when you lay the tire down, it's going to be the height of the tire. So you want to use kind of all the same number of those so that they're the same height, so that they'll be level. But even within that height, they can be different diameters, right? They can be different sizes. So I have to play a game now of positioning tires to fit over the rebar, all the rebar. Or you place a sill on the footer. It'll actually, I don't know what to call a footer, where to say the footer
sill
stops.
Plate? Is that the same as sill plate?
So I'm saying that the footer is what's underground, which is what's out there right now, and that's done. I don't know what to call the next thing, whether to call it a foot or not, but I'm actually going to put another set of tires, and the sill plate's going to go on that. So again, I don't know whether to call the whole thing a footer or just the part that's underground.
Is it going to be up real high? That's what I don't get.
It's going to be about a foot off the ground. But again, there's a reason for that. That protects the bales a little bit. The bales will be from the outside perspective. The ground level will be here, and the bales won't start until about a foot in the air. Well, that doesn't mean the wall doesn't start. It just means the bale doesn't start. So that's good for when rain happens and stuff. One of the worst things for one of the worst parts of a bale, or really any house, is when water strikes the ground and kind of splashes.
Yeah.
So.
Hi.
Dino. Hello.
Awesome, Arizona, Dino.
So yes, to Moses' question, are you place a sill on the footer? Yes, there will be a sill plate. And I was talking about this to my dad yesterday, so I'll explain it here. I might have explained this before, but hopefully it'll start to make more sense as you see us get a little farther. So right now we've got pieces of rebar sticking up, right? One between each tire that's underground. So it's in the space between, it's kind of jammed in between the two tires where they meet. So the idea is now above ground with our next set of tires, we're going to place those tires over each of those pieces of rebar. Now, again, I'll have to play with positioning because every tire is slightly different. So I have to make sure that rebar falls inside a tire and doesn't hit the sidewall, right? So it doesn't have to fall dead center of the tire, but I want it to be inside the tire. So I'll have to play around with that positioning. That'll be kind of the next thing I'll do. I'll just kind of dry fit tires basically to find out how I'm going to place them. So then I'll pack all those tires just like I did these, but these will be above ground now. And that should make the top of that nice and level and solid, right? But it'll be about a foot off the ground, maybe anywhere from 10 inches to a foot.
When are you going to get the wood for it?
So the next step, I've been drawing the sill plate now just to kind of see how much lumber I'm actually going to need. But the plan is this. So the sill plate, our sill plate, on a house, the sill plate would just be one 2x4 essentially, or 2x6 if you had 2x, whatever your studs of your wall were going to be, whether they were going to be 2x4s or 2x6s, the sill plate is what those sit on. Well, for a straw bale house, the sill plate is really, the bales are going to sit on it. So it's really two. It's an inner and an outer sill plate. That's just a 2x4, and the bale sits on. So there's one for the outside edge and one for the inside edge of the bale because it's about 14 inches wide. So think of two pieces of 2x4s laid down flat, running along those tires, right, side by side. One for the inside of the bale and one for the outside of the bale for it to sit on. So picture that laying on top of these tires. Now picture that if I kind of made that into a ladder, if I made cross members along the way, and those cross members are there to kind of give rigidity, to kind of give a little more support, and also those are the things that are going to go over the rebar. So each of those cross members, I'm going to drill a hole in it, a 1/2 inch hole, slide that cross member over the rebar, attach it to the inner and outer. So now I'm making that ladder. I'm going to be building it pretty much in place. Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
And Yvonne. So I'll be building that ladder in place, that sill plate that looks like a ladder laying down. Each of the rungs will go over a piece of rebar, and then that piece of rebar will be bent over to kind of pin the whole thing. And right now I'm thinking that I'm going to basically just build a duplicate set of that whole sill plate that goes over top, which basically traps the rebar inside, and probably screw, because of what I want is squeezing force, I'll probably screw those two sill plates together. So basically I'm sandwiching the rebar in between two pieces of lumber. So it's basically a double sill plate. So it'll be 3 inches tall because 2x4 is 1.5 inches on its flat side. So a double sill plate. So now the rebar it's bent under the lowest tire. It goes up between the two low tires. It comes up in the inside of one of the upper tires. It goes through the sill plate, the first sill plate, it goes into a rung of that ladder, and it bends over, and the second sill plate sits on top of it and sandwiches it in there. So that's what's going to hopefully
if the
tie
sill
together.
plate sits on top of it, toe ups. Oh. It's sitting, a board is on top of the rebar. Isn't that gonna like, how's it?
So I can either, I'll get to Bill's statement in a second. That they call the sill plate toe ups. Well, maybe they do. I was thinking that I guess you wouldn't call the nails. I would think of that more as the nails, but I guess, okay. All right. So Bill says they're called toe ups. That's true. So I don't know whether the wood will be soft enough. So I'm gonna have one piece of wood, the rebar comes up through it, gets bent down over, and another piece goes on top. The wood might be soft enough that when I screw those two pieces of wood together and I squeeze them really hard, the wood might just kind of morph around that rebar. It's a half-inch thick. If it doesn't, I don't know if the wood will be that soft or not. But if it doesn't, I can always route out a little channel for that, right. so that the two pieces of wood can really kind of snug up next to each other.
I was just worried it might split or something. Hopefully it won't
No,
split.
it shouldn't. It's just a question. I don't know whether the rebar will kind of sink into the wood a little bit. I mean, it only needs to go a 1/4 inch into each of those pieces of wood. But do you know anybody knows how to weld? I do not, Bill. I do not. At least, no, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah,
Joe from Homestead.
Joe Homesteadonomics, but I don't know him that well. But I know
he's our buddy, isn't he? Let's just go ask him to come over.
But no, I do not. So anyway, that's my thought, at least, of how everything's going to be tied together. And then again, once you get to that now second sill plate, that's the same as if that sill plate were sitting on a wooden deck like Bill's or on a concrete slab, right? That's the idea, that from that point on, it's the same. So we just used a different foundation underneath it. But that's hopefully how everything will be connected so that we can pull and without things moving and everything. So that's the idea.
I can't wait for that.
So
I just want it to move faster. But I know he's been working hard.
I know a lot of people probably, and Pam was one of them, when they see that rebar sticking out of the ground, they think the bales are going to sit on that rebar. That is not the point of that rebar. So it is really to pin things together, to hold things together. That rebar is going to be like a staple sideways that's going to hold, that'll have 2 tires and sill plates inside of it, and it's squeezing them together. That's the idea of that rebar. So although there will be rebar in some of the bales, there will be rebar staples at the corners and things like that, but that is not the intent of that rebar. So we're past the underground portion, as you can see from the thumbnail, but the next portion is the above ground portion of tires.
Are you going to say what we're doing on Saturday?
Oh, I didn't think of that. If you find someone, Bill says, if you find someone who knows how to weld, have someone weld the piece of threaded rod to your rebar. Then you can just use nuts and bolts to secure it. Weld a piece of threaded rod. Okay. All right. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. She was tired earlier, and she took a nap even.
I have these little pills, like they're it's like a Benadryl, and I only take like half of it. I think I'm gonna have to cut it in quarters because I'm always sleepy the next day after I take it.
It would be great, actually. That's a great idea, Bill. If I knew how to weld myself or somebody who welded, it would be a lot easier just to screw those things on. But because I don't, my best thing now is to bend it. So yeah, I don't know whether it's gonna fit between those 2 pieces of wood. So I might have to route out a little notch for that rebar, but so that should get us to bales. So one of the other things I've been doing is researching windows and doors now, because when we really start stacking bales, we got to know where that stuff goes and how big it is and everything, so we can build window and door bucks. So you really can't move on bales until you know your whole layout. So I've been looking into that stuff. I will, once I build the sill plate, the double sill plate, I'll probably build the top plate right on top of it, which is recommended a lot of times because that'll guarantee you that they're the same and that everything should be nice and square and even and everything. So rather than waiting till you get to the top and then building it to what the top is, because potentially your walls might have done something funky, right? So most people recommend that you build the top plate on top of the sill plate, just so that you know that it's an exact match. So, Benadryl. So I will call and I'll probably go see him first, as Bill suggested. I'd like to do that soon, but that's when I'll call for my trusses. When I know what the top plate looks like, because that'll be my kind of exact measurement. So I imagine that'll be a 4 to 6 week, probably 6 week lead time. So
we will do. Hi, Carly. We will do the thing that Bill did with the foam and the roof thing.
Oh yeah, we'll probably do spray foam as well. I think
cool.
Bill just got that done maybe yesterday, right? Yeah. So
yeah, that's
exciting.
Heard him. Yeah, we can hear him over here.
I was pounding tires when they were there.
We are getting close to the bales.
We are getting close to bales. Northwest to southwest.
Hello. Names. Michelle and Terry.
Yeah.
I swear, I have a hard time keeping everybody's name.
Can
Billy.
You thread rebar? I don't think
Billy.
You can thread rebar, but what Bill was suggesting was welding a piece of all thread onto rebar, which would do it, but I don't think you can thread rebar.
What does he mean, thread rebar?
I assume it means, can you actually use a tool to make threads in the rebar to essentially turn it into a screw? Or a nut, or I'm sorry, the nut is what would screw onto it, to make it into a bolt or a screw.
I see.
I don't think so, because it would be a lot easier, obviously, but no.
Yeah.
So now the solution is to bend it, but welding would be an awesome skill to have. So this light is bugging me.
It's not. It's only you.
Well, you're not even in it. Look at my head. I'm chopped. There's a light coming right over the computer. So what else? So we just found out a lot of people that are local might know who Ray Clamens is.
Tucson, is that where we're
what's
going?
The name? Yeah. What's the name of the
Natural
building?
Dude, I get a T-shirt this time.
Is it works?
Natural building works? Yeah, I'm supposed to get a T-shirt this time.
We just found out last night that he's doing a straw bale build in Tucson. So we're gonna run up there on Saturday and join their little crew. They're doing Saturday and Sunday, I think. But I don't think we necessarily need to learn anything more, but it never hurts, you never know maybe who you'll meet or might learn something. So we're going to jump in on Saturday. I think they'll just be stacking, splitting bales. They're also doing some adobe, so they'll be making adobe bricks as well, which we've done all of this, but it never hurts to see how other people do stuff and everything. So
maybe we'll learn something.
But if you weld a bolt to the rebar, you got the same results. Yeah. So, so we're doing that on Saturday. That'll just be a day thing.
What time does that start?
It's most of the day, but it starts at 9, I believe.
9
in Tucson.
9 to 4 or something.
4. Oh. Yeah, they've booked the whole day for it. So we'll do that Saturday. What else? I've been researching, like I said, I've been researching doors and windows. I'm back into SketchUp, and I'm kind of drawing the sill plate so that I can kind of count up my lumber when that time comes.
It's been very windy, very dusty.
We've been having a lot of wind. Obviously, the temperatures are great, but the wind is,
in the
the wind is the wind.
Mainly in the afternoon.
Mainly in the afternoon. We've used the air, but the temperatures are such that we can use the air. We've got plenty of sunshine, and so we've been using the air on solar, and we've been fine. We haven't even had to really kick in the generator or anything. So
it's nice.
It's been nice. I assume that's true for
75.
Bill and Yvonne as well. I did bury the septic coop.
Coop?
I don't know if I mentioned that on the last one. Somebody made a comment, septic pipe. Somebody made a comment on the video where I did the septic pipe and left it uncovered. They made a valid point, which is you don't want to leave ABS or PVC exposed to the sun for very long.
He buried it.
It will get brittle. So I'm hoping that's true, Awesome Arizona. So I did cover up the septic pipe. You know, for about half of its run, it's
Hi.
Hey,
Dave and Julie.
Dave and Julie, how you doing? For about half of its run, it's underground. So I reburied it, and then the other half of the run, it's kind of sitting on top of our current ground. I know that sounds funny, but that ground level will change because we're going to be doing quite a bit of backfill. So, so for now, I basically just piled dirt over it. So I have a little mound basically over a portion of the septic pipe just to keep the sun off it. So that's not, the ultimate solution, but it'll keep the sun off it. So, is the pipe between the tires and buried? It is. So it goes all the way inside, and we have filled the inside of the house. We've filled to a flat surface, or at least pretty close. So that pipe is in there and buried. So I marked the end of it with a stake. So we know where that's at. Dave and Julie, we talked about basically what you see in the thumbnail. That our first course of tires, which is our footer, is done.
We're
with
leveled
rebar sticking
off
up out of it. So
he's got
awesome. That would be great. What's your source for that information? I've read and seen, a couple of YouTube videos of people saying that they think lumber prices are going to come down. I don't know who's right. So I'm hopeful that it's going to come down, but I don't know that for sure. The part I'm worried about is when we get to the roof, which hopefully isn't far away. Obviously I have to buy lumber for the sill plate and everything, but it's not a ton of lumber. But window and door bucks will need a little bit too. But the one that I'm worried about is all the sheathing that'll go on the roof, probably OSB, I guess. And somebody made a comment on one of my videos recently, just today or yesterday or something, that they priced out 1/2-inch OSB and it was $56 a sheet. That used to be, I think, 10 or 15 bucks when I built the shed for a sheet of OSB. So yeah, so I'm hoping they come down soon.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Common Man, hey Tom.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, I've seen some things of people saying that prices are going to go down, but I don't know whether that's true or not. I sure hope they do.
Why is it?
So it's crazy.
I mean, I heard a thing. Yeah, it is going to be a tin roof.
It'll be a metal roof, yeah, but there'll be sheathing under it. It'll be done just like our shed.
Baloney. That's insane.
I read 236% of that year. Yeah.
A couple of channels on YouTube. People are saying Northwest lumber mills are full of available lumber.
Full. I think the one I saw, I see YouTube videos now and then. For a while, it was why are lumber prices so high. And now I'm starting to see some that say lumber prices are going to come back down. And the logic the one guy used, at least, was when it's all about supply or demand, right? So the logic the guy used was, when people stop doing stuff, then lumber prices will have to come down. Well, that might be true. Yeah.
Was it when COVID happened that everybody?
Well, it was a big part of it. I'm sure it had to do with supply chains and things also, but there's also a supply and demand thing there, right? Where people wanted more lumber because they were staying home. They decided to do some projects, and the lumber companies probably said, let's jack up the price, make some more money.
Paper?
I don't know if the price of toilet paper changed. I don't know, but
I don't think so.
But anyway, if people stop using it as
people.
much, then yeah, I guess prices should come down. But again, that's all speculation. I don't know. Oh yeah, and California fires. Good point, Dave. Forest fires. Dave. Apparently,
I was like, Dave's here. Dave, your brother, his brother's
delivering and milling plus a female. There were several things I'm sure that contributed to it. And yeah, you could make the case that it should come down, but until it does, I don't know. I won't believe it till I see it, but I sure hope it does. This light is really bugging me.
Just squat down.
No, not even that. Just how grainy and dark we are. Look at this. This is terrible. It's like we're in a closet.
Well,
but if I turn that light on, Pam will throw a fit.
Let's get some new lighting.
Dave's not here, man. I get that one. I got it.
Can we? Why don't we get one of those those? We'll write it off on our taxes.
Sherry says they won't come down for a bit. New homes are selling like crazy and they can't keep up. Well, yeah, as long as new homes are buying up lumber, then they'll just pass that on to dummies like Sherry and Scott. They'll pass that price on to dummies like Sherry and Scott.
Desert Living Homestead? What?
Oh, that's the one that was there really early.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that I can't remember your name because there's a lot of desert homesteads on here.
If you're building, you just need to do it.
Homes are selling before models are even
up. Oh, that's been true for a long time, I think, in Arizona.
I don't get it.
But
I don't know. I'm out of the loop.
Oh, it's Pedro. I keep forgetting that that's Pedro's channel.
I am so sorry.
Hey again, Pedro.
Okay.
Because for a while he showed up in here as
Desert
Pedro. So
Living Homestead is Pedro. Desert Living Homestead.
So Pedro, you know you were an hour early. So we're an hour.
California time? Is that different?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We're the same as California time now because we're 3 hours behind the East Coast. We're on California time right now.
We start at 6.
So yeah, it should be 6 California time, right? When we started.
All right. I won't forget. I can't promise I won't forget again, and I apologize. I try to keep up with all of the desert ones.
So
there's High Desert Homestead. There's Desert High Homestead, Arizona, or Arizona High Desert.
There's many.
A lot of ones
many.
They're just, and it's very difficult for me to keep them all straight. So I'm trying.
Wow.
What's that?
3:30 a.m. in Paris.
Hello,
thanks, David.
David in Paris.
You start making a cheat sheet of channel today. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I think I do need to go. I'm going to go through and get.
Oh yeah, Bill. We see those every time we run to town and how fast they went up. Yeah. So
that was crazy.
On our little run to Benson from here, they've built 2 homes or are building 2 homes on the side of the road, and they went up. They went up so fast. So.
Pedro says I made it early, but
welcome,
we all lost
David.
They
lost their connection.
If Don was here, he would be speaking French.
Thanks, Cher. Thanks for letting us know what time it is in Arizona.
It's Sand Valley.
Total,
it is getting a little
mom move right there.
Thanks, you.
Wow, 3:30 a.m. That's commitment.
Oh, I hate that when the.
Wait, it's 6:32 here.
It is getting a little dim. Should I turn on the blue
Arizona's
lights?
All over you can do whatever you want, but the only light that works is the one you hate.
I don't want to do anything.
Whatever. But
I don't want that. I know what.
So
let's get a curtain and we'll hang it up there.
Any other questions, anyone, or any other? Do you have anything else to report? Pam's been painting a lot. We moved a bunch of dirt.
Doing a lot of videos and
Pam's been doing some videos.
I've been working out a lot.
Watch Pam's channel.
I've been walking around, lifting weights, riding my bike.
I spent
hiking up and down the mountain.
I spent a few hours tamping today, and my hands and my arms are pretty beat.
I tamped for about 1 minute, and my back was killing me. So I'm like, I'm done.
We had.
He doesn't want me out. He doesn't want me out.
We had Jared. We had Jared and Minerva out, and they both tamped a little bit. And I told them that if they give us their bank account numbers and routing numbers, I'll sign them up for a gym membership. That I'll just automatically withdraw.
A gym membership, JIM.
Moved a lot of dirt. Do we call you Jim now? Jim and I are going to have some sort of contest or something.
Like those strongman competitions,
or maybe Jess too. But yeah, we moved a lot of dirt.
Jessica's so
tiny.
I know
Jim does all the time too.
She's trying to. The wind's trying to blow her away. She was hanging on the dirt bag.
I'm getting to be pretty tiny. I weighed myself today. Pretty light.
He loses all this weight. I need to get out there and tamp. I'll just go and tamp.
It's a workout. It's a workout. Your earth is not dry to put in. True. Your earth is not dry to put in. You're gonna have to rephrase that. Tires. Oh, yeah. So I do. I wet it down sometimes. But it probably because it's so heavily because it's so heavy with clay, it actually kind of compacts pretty good. But no, it's pretty good in the tires. I've been wetting it. I've been wetting it quite a bit too.
It's really weird. It's like it has the consistency of talcum powder.
Oh, it's like moon dust. It's
wild, wacky stuff.
But when you wet it down, it gets real muddy. but it does crack. So, you know, when we use it for plaster, we will have to be amending it with sand. And so it is very, very clay rich.
It's probably too clay rich.
Yes, I think it is. Yep.
You can tell
it's working well in the tires.
You can tell clay because it looks kind of like a cookie on top, the way it crackles, like a you know, like a
after it gets wet, it cracks pretty good.
I want some those bread.
Ooh, cookies.
Those gingerbread cookies that crack on top and they have like the sugar stuff. That sounds good. What are those called? Molasses cookies.
Gingerbread cookies. So
new neighbors. Well, they haven't been out here.
He hasn't been out in a while. He actually. So I don't know if we kept everybody to date on this, and not that it really matters. But yeah, we had a guy buy 120 acres next to us, basically 3 big 40-acre plots. And you know, when he first bought it, he was going to try and sell 40 of it to kind of recoup some of his money, and he didn't really need it all. But my guess is they probably didn't want to break it up when they were selling it. So he has since. He told me recently that he is going to sell 40 acres of it. He's going to try to sell 40 acres of it because he's trying to. I think he put a bunch of money in, so he's putting a bunch of money in. He rented a machine for quite a while that he used to push a lot of dirt around and everything. And I don't know if they're done yet. I don't think they're done yet, but they're getting power run there, which I'm sure is going to cost a good bit. So he told me he was going to sell 40 to try and get some money, because he said he doesn't have the money for materials to build his house. So yeah, they do plan to build a house, but it's a little ways from us. I mean, we'll be able to see it and everything, I guess. Not like from where we sit right here, but it's off a little ways. So
still camouflage.
So yeah, we'll still have some distance between us, but we'll be able to see his house. He's planning on building up on a big hill.
Did you see what Brian said?
Pam, enjoying your videos. Nice that someone is making vids.
He's busy. He's very busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to videotape, you know, to record as much as I can, but I haven't done a lot of editing, obviously.
There is land for sale right by us.
We almost bought those, but I didn't think it had good access.
It's like $100,000.
Oh, is he talking about? Is Dave talking about this land?
How much is he selling, Caleb? Because it was like
I think he's trying to sell 40 acres. I have no idea what the prices are.
It said 40 acres, 100,000.
So
is that a lot? Is that cheap?
Yes. Well, I think that's more than he bought the 120 acres for, if you're right about that. Yeah, the access, well, of course, he did quite a bit of work on the land, and he made, actually, Rabbit Trail, he made it a lot better, at least for the moment. We'll see what happens when the rains come.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about that, because he filled in a lot of ravines and things, but he basically just pushed dirt into them. So we're going to see what happens when the monsoon rains come. It might get messy. It's definitely going to erode. The question is how fast and how messy is it going to get. So we'll see.
Everybody says that's too much.
Well, there is a wellhead on, I believe, the property that he's selling. And there will, I believe, be access to power, since he's running power back to where he wants to be. So it'll run right by this portion of land. So I think that's how they're kind of advertising it, is water and power, at least access to water and power. Does it flood? Like I said, good question. You know, it's been okay since when we got here, or since we've been here, right? This piece of land that we're talking about was covered in a lot of fissures, right? So the land just kind of almost like sinkholes, but it happens kind of in fingers, right? So fissures. And after he bought it, he spent weeks kind of driving around the property with a big bulldozer, pushing dirt and filling these things in. And that's great until all the rains come, and those things might just re-erode right back out. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
The answer is no, Moses. No cement, right?
The plan is no cement. So I don't plan on using cement. Yeah, I don't know. I think Pam got that number just off of like looking at Zillow or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's accurate. I don't know exactly what he paid. I think I know, but I'm not positive. And I don't know what he's selling it for.
The sign says Haymore Realty.
Okay.
And I looked that up, and it said $100,000 for 40 acres.
That's a lot of money for those 40 acres.
I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong.
It is not in a floodplain. It's the only floodplain around, or at least when we looked at ours, is basically the wash was lit up blue when we looked, which is right next to us. But
I'm curious about this. If I still have that up, I'd probably close that window.
Yeah, the plan is no cement. So the plan is
I closed it.
The tires, the sill plate, and the bales. And basically, the bales sitting on top of a sill plate, especially a double sill plate, will leave a little bit of a gap, a 3-inch gap between the tires and the bale, in kind of the middle of that ladder structure. And that'll be filled with either one or the other, or a combination of gravel and or insulation, maybe even rigid foam or something. But it's there for two reasons. It's there for insulation, and it's there for a capillary break, so that the water doesn't travel up through the ground and into the bales. So,
that's true.
No, the plan is no concrete. So we'll see.
One of the, or yes, that land does back up to Derek.
You could wire a threaded rod to the rebar and cement a space around the rebar, and it would hold. I heard he paid $120. Huh? For 120 acres? Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either.
One of those butts up to handyman. Yeah, I think the piece that he's selling,
yes,
is actually across Rabbit Trail from us, and in this case it'd be west.
That's
west,
how I know.
And it's kind of catty corner, I think, to handyman.
That's how I know I'm right. I saw the pictures. I know.
Well, I just didn't know if you had gotten that number off of Zillow. I don't think that's necessarily the for sale number. That's Zillow gives you like a anyway.
Because I saw the pictures and that little well.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's our neighbor.
So
he bought 120 acres. He's trying to sell 40. He's trying to get some money to keep building. So
yeah,
that's what's going on over there. He is planning on building a house, but it shouldn't be really near us. So, we'll have a neighbor, but he seemed like a nice guy, and it shouldn't be a problem. So that's fine. What else? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm really tired.
Pam's tired. Watch Pam's channel. She's making lots of videos. I'm sorry I don't make more. It's hard to keep up. Like I said, I'm trying to record as much as I can.
When we get to the next step, you should be. I have a little bit of recording from the other day when we did when CJ was over with the dirt thing. I still have footage from our water tanks and things like that. So, that's another thing I'm going to do is start doing is filling the water tanks. I haven't set up the pumping system yet, but I'm going to start filling them with basically from our well. So we should be able to fill one in the monsoon, basically just from the carport roof. We should be able to fill one. I just have to get the gutter. But I'm going to fill the other one, I think, with well water, little by little, just, a little bit a day. That might be all that's going on. I got nothing.
So I think I explained everything that's coming up. And my next step is a bunch more tires, and it's going to take me at least a week. Hopefully, if I don't have a lot of trouble with placement, playing the game of trying to make sure that the rebar, the reason I said the plan is no concrete for the next step is because potentially I could see concrete being using a little concrete to assist. If I can't get the tires to fall correctly in the right spots to actually kind of to have that rebar come up inside of a tire every time, if I need to kind of play with the spacing of the tires, I may cheat a little bit and do kind of what they would do in earth ships, which is basically put some metal lath alongside of the tires and kind of create your own little barrier between two tires. So imagine the two tires next to each other, and they kind of would scallop right. They kind of do this. You can put metal lath on the tires and basically create a straight surface, and you can fill that with concrete. If I need to leave a space between tires to make the geometry work out for the rebar, I might fill that with concrete. I don't want to,
Kind of
we'll see what happens.
Well, like
it's very Earthship-like. Yes, it's very Earthship-like.
We are going to
that's
use
a possibility.
Billy.
Have you ever run out of well water? No, we have not. Well, other than it breaking and not being able to get it here, but no, our well has not run out. Well water. And why not use Adobe? We will be using Adobe in the house.
Adobe and Cobb are basically the same thing, and we've talked about. I think we've talked about it on a different video where
we think Adobe the only difference really between Adobe and Cobb is the form,
and Cobb is wet, but they're both pretty much
instead of
same.
Cement?
Clay, sand, and straw and water. Yep.
So
I want to do. I've been watching some videos on.
There we go.
Making things out of bottles. So I want to try. I want to try some things. I got some things in mind. I don't
know. Other than that, unless anybody has anything, we could.
Anybody have
shut it down a little early
questions?
before Pam falls asleep.
I'm sorry. Every time I take those pills,
and we lost a couple people this week. We've got some, our friends Craig and Nick are on vacation. My mom said she wasn't feeling well.
Where's Jared?
Nature stuff is burger. Yes.
Yeah. What's Jared's excuse? Oh, maybe
you
he's
guys
doing
get vaccinated.
Podcast.
We're actually
Friday.
We're scheduled for Friday for our first shots, Brian. So not yet, but we're scheduled.
We got to make sure because there's birds going in and out of there. There could be snakes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I think we talked about that last week as well. We've just gotten in the habit. It's a good habit to be in, whenever you live on land like this, as anybody out there knows, as Jim from Green Dream Project well knows. We've just gotten in the habit, basically, of anything I touch or pick up or turn over or whatever, I'm always aware
Me too.
that there's the potential for some kind of critter, especially a snake, to be there. So yes, that is a valid point that there might be some critters making homes in there, and we will be cognizant of that. We always are. It's become kind of a habit around here. It's just you do it without even thinking about it. You're always ready for the potential of something to be under anything that you might want to move or pick up or turn over. Yes, this is because Pam doesn't like the light that comes from over here. So there's a light behind the computer. So it's cutting off right at the top of the computer.
We do have Gila monsters. I haven't seen one, but
I think it was Bill that saw one on his property. I have not. He
said it was a big one.
I've seen one in Arizona, but not here.
No more visitors at night. Knock on wood.
Oh, yeah. Not since I forgot. We talked about that last time.
You know what, though? I saw some tracks. I saw some tracks on a driveway where someone pulled off and turned around on the.
That happens from time to time. With the neighbor doing things with power and stuff like that, there have been a lot of vehicles, and the real estate agent selling the land. There's a lot of vehicles going up and down Rabbit Trail, and every once in a while, I understand, every once in a while, they will either use ours as a turnaround, or they won't know where they're at exactly. Or
Dave and Julie saw one, a visitor.
They saw a Gila monster. Dave and Julie?
Oh, I saw one in Phoenix once.
Yeah, we haven't seen one here. I bet we have them. I know we have them because Bill said. Bill's right across the street, so
they're around, but
so yeah, they're out there. But yeah, nothing else. We've got the lizards are back, so I'm sure that means the snakes are back. But we haven't seen any. But we have seen some lizards.
Snakes are back.
Crossed through our fenced area. Wow.
Bye, Pedro.
Gotta go and eat.
I think we're all
that's Moses.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry,
many homestead desert. Yeah, right. That's Moses. All right, y'all. I guess it's still cold up there, right? You are red skinned, Bill. It's more I realize we look kind of red, but I think it's more the lighting. It's not quite as bad as it looks.
We have red.
I think it's the lighting because we have red placemats on the table. So I don't think we're quite as red as we look in this picture, but
I love lizards.
Oh, Bill says they saw two.
Oh, I saw two.
Have you seen a snake? Dave says we have not seen snakes yet. No.
Oh, and I wanted to say
but the lizards are definitely out.
Thanks to I might have said thanks last week. I don't remember, but thanks Carly for buying one of my signs.
One of the wet my plants.
Here's your sign. I wanted to start a company called Here's Your Sign, but
that would be great. I gotta guess it. I gotta believe that's
it's
taken,
probably
right?
taken.
Or
I think I looked it up before.
Or Bill Engvall has copyrighted it or trademarked it or whatever.
Probably.
Working dirt complexion.
Oh yeah,
that might be what it is.
We took showers.
I am looking more weathered than I was a couple of years ago. That's for sure. But
me too.
But it's not so much red as it is just I'm getting darker.
It's all the wind
and the wind. Yeah, sure.
He needs to moisturize more.
Are you locked down in desert? LOL.
Locked down? Liked watching your video.
Oh yeah, Pam did a video for self-painting signs.
That's Pedro, Desert Living.
Pedro says, I will email you once I'm on the way up there. Plan on going up there next week. Oh, Pam, I want one. I wet my plants. Oh, lockdown, like for because of COVID. We're not really here. Not so much.
Yeah, tomorrow, every day is windy, pretty much. I just expect it.
We've got a lot of wind.
Usually it's from March until June, every afternoon.
Yeah, especially in the afternoon. But even sometimes in the evening and in the morning.
By Foo Bar Ranch.
It's more afternoon. So usually if you get out early, you can kind of miss it for a while.
Thank you.
But it still gets us sometimes. But
thank you, guys.
Bill making masks optional. Thanks everybody for stopping by, especially those from far away or at weird times. David, really appreciate it. So with that, I think we're probably about done.
Yeah, I think we're about done.
All right.
Thank you.
I hate to, more of the same for the upcoming week, but more tire pounding, but we're close. We are closing in on bale work.
More tires to you, like more power to you. More tires to you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Okay. Well,
good night,
I think that'll do it, y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
We'll talk to everybody next time. Bye-bye.